to review, sorry. Guys, Mohini, are we doing well? Do we still have time?
If you wish to continue, you can.
Mohini, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. If you wish to continue,
okay, fine.
You can.
So I will continue for 10 more minutes.
Okay, sure.
Okay, I'll continue for 10 more minutes in that case. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is the risk mitigation. So if you think about risk mitigation, right, there was a question that someone asked me, in fact. So I just want to bring it to that person, that risk mitigation is implicit. Risk management is implicit within Agile. So if you look at it, you get feedback at multiple levels. You get feedback during continuous integration. If your continuous integration done, you're going to get feedback that how is it happening? The deployment has happened, the tests have run, is everything holding up? You'll have daily stand-ups, that's where the feedback happens. You'll have demo every sprint. You'll have retrospective. You'll have planning meetings. So risk mitigation happens throughout the sprint. So it's there. I'm going to skip the estimation right now, but I do want to talk about program level pitfalls. This is very important. If you're managing a big program, you definitely want to think of having a clear definitions of roles and responsibilities, because if you're working, if you have been a very traditional shop where you have different titles like software engineer, senior software engineer, principal engineer, tech lead, team lead, project lead, manager, delivery manager, and so on, those roles are going to change. Those roles are kind of going to change, not at a lower level, but at a higher level. For example, Scrum Master. Normally, you don't see a role for Scrum Master. It always comes up as project manager or a tech lead. It is very different. So that race is going to be very different. Business analyst versus product owner, that race is going to be very different. So you want to think of all this and defining it if you're going to go Big Bang Agile approach. Career progression is something that you want to be very, very careful of, because for example, I have many Scrum Masters coming and asking me, you know what, so now I'm a Scrum Master, what next for me? So if you are in Agile shop, you want to definitely think about, what is going to be the career path. Are they going to get into the delivery role? Are they going to get on the technical side, or what all? So you want to think about it very, very, very carefully. Rewards and recognition. Again, very near and dear. You want to be very careful about rewards and recognition, because in Agile, we encourage teamwork rather than individual heroes. So you want to think about putting a system in place where you still want to reward your individual heroes, but again, that's a totally different discussion. So you want to, it's a double-edged sword. So you want to keep that in mind about team rewards. Agility assessment. So if you are you have been doing Agile for a while, how do you know where you are? For that, you'll have to do some type of agility assessment. You'll have to go and figure out, where are we in our Agile journey? Where are we with our best practices? Where are we with our planning? Do we have the correct roles? Do we have the correct personnel within our teams? And lots of things. And then that assessment is going to give you some data. So based on the improvements that comes out, so say, what, in the next few sprints, we are going to work on this, and then again do the agility assessment and see where you stand. So you have to do that at a regular intervals. When it comes to Scrum of Scrums, what I mean is there are multiple teams, and now you have to tie the entire program together. You want to think about what all type of discussion has to happen. How do we know whether we are on track, we are not on track? How are we going to meet our release dates? Which team needs help? Defining process if needed. If there's a triage process, creating a support team. All this is basically a program wide, and it's a big role, and it's a big puzzle to fill. You might also want to think about building community of practices. You have multiple teams. There are lots of good things that are happening. But how do you ensure that now you're thinking of organizational transformation? It's not about just your group. You're talking about multiple groups. How can you build a community where the Scrum Masters from all the programs come together and they discuss, these are my challenges. How can I do? And you share amongst yourselves. Same thing for product owners. Same thing for business analysts. You want to think of putting some type of program together. Same thing for tech leads. How do we understand that, our architecture is so solid and we can just keep on doing better and better and better. So these are lots of things to tie together. So in the end, what I'm going to do is this, Agile is a puzzle. it is a big puzzle. If you think of it, there are multiple ceremonies, multiple artifacts. You're talking about the best practices of engineering, best practices like continuous integration, test-driven development, automation, and all that. It's a lot. It's a lot. So if I can just do one more analogy and say, what, there is something called boiling frog syndrome, and the syndrome is this: if you take a frog and put it in a boiling water, it's going to jump right out. However, if you take the frog and put him in the lukewarm water and slowly turn on the gas, the frog is going to cook itself to death. So the idea is to make Agile stick. You don't want to throw all the practices at once. See where you are and then start introducing one practice at a time.